Well, hey guys, what's up?
What is up? This is our first ever podcast. Really impulse decision, but then I told Daniel that impulse decisions are the best decisions.
Yes. I honestly think it's like I've been wanting to figure out a podcast since we started out with a talk in the car randomly and we filmed it, and it's like I think I really like that, and I just haven't gotten the idea kind of flowing, so we just randomly talked about it today.
Exactly. And not only that, my GoPro is right here, and we don't have no mics.
We don't have no mics.
We didn't invest into anything. We just got to get it started.
It's our 30-day free trial,
30-day free trial, exactly. Okay, so this is just one of those decisions where you just kind of have to act upon it and see where it goes. We don't expect too many views. If you guys do get views, if we do get viral, then this is our first ever video. It is October 31st, 2022, Halloween day. Daniel's going to go for a volleyball run right after this with me.
Gonna spike some balls.
We're going to spike some balls. We love them balls. Yeah, man. He just came back from the Calgary trip. How was the Calgary trip?
Yeah, honestly, it was beautiful, dude. Like, everywhere you look, it's like, it's a view. Like, I think you see my photos, it's like any direction you look around when you're in Banff, you see mountains, you see like snow on the trees, you see snow on the mountains. It's crazy. So honestly, I kind of didn't want to come back, but like everybody's here, so.
Wait, snow, and it's like what, October?
Yeah, they got their first snowfall when we went, which was crazy.
That's so dope.
Yeah, and it wasn't like freezing, so it was pretty worth it.
Dope. Yeah, so introductions. I am Nihaal. I am known as that brown dude that plays volleyball. I've asserted myself in the volleyball community and started introducing my friends like Daniel into the volleyball community as well. We are both from the Toronto area.
Rexdale represent.
Daniel, how do we meet?
It's not even really that like unique of a story, but we were both working at, I think it's okay to say where we worked. We were both working at IKEA, and Nihaal was this young kid. I say young kid, but he's just a year younger than me. But what's it called? He joined IKEA. I've been there for a little bit, and we didn't really talk much to begin with right off the bat, I would say.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked marginally, and then I think we talked a lot more after you left. The funny part, or towards when you were leaving.
Oh yeah.
Definitely more towards when you were leaving.
We got scheduled with shifts together. It goes back to what I say, tell other people.
Yeah.
That you make more friends from your part-time jobs than your actual job, because I do work a 9-to-5 job as well right now, but it's a struggle to make friends in the corporate world. Whereas part-time, like, everyone's just kind of like...
We're all just there to get our money and just, like not try to work too hard, right? Yeah. So...
That's what it is. Yo, are you growing a mustache for November or what?
No, I'm not growing a mustache.
Oh, you gotta grow.
I'm not growing... Bro, I don't want to look like a pedophile, man.
You're calling me a pedophile?
No, bro. No, the mustache looks so creepy, like, for me, because it doesn't grow like that. It doesn't grow like a handlebar. It just kind of grows, like... patchy.
That's the fun of it. Okay, why are we growing mustaches? Have you guys heard of Movember? Hopefully you guys have.
I think they have. It's pretty common.
It's pretty common now, but it's to raise. First, I think it was initially for testicular cancer and prostate stuff. Right. But now it's more so like mental health awareness as well for men, and it's just a reminder. I kind of like the campaign because, like, when people see me with a mustache, they question it right away, right? And then if I explain, like, hey, it's for awareness for this, so then do you see it kind of goes hand in hand, because it's something that's noticeable right away, and then it's
something that's not noticeable, and is also for mental health in November. No nut November. No nut November.
No nut November.
Mental health, man.
Mental health.
Yo, nutting too much, man. That f's with your head. I'm telling you right
100%.
now. Just gotta chill.
So are you on that or no?
Yeah, honestly, I think in general, I think it's healthy to just like not do it all the time. It's like,
yeah,
especially because I think it reinforces the fact that especially if you're single, that you're kind of lonely. Like, I don't want to call people
And that
out.
is a great segue to our topic for today.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with a little sad one just because I don't know about you, but I've been a little bit sad boy hours recently. So, loneliness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go ahead. What were you saying?
I was saying, like, I don't mean to call people out on that if they are, like, you know, rubbing it every day. But it's like, something in me is like, there's probably a reason that you're doing that. Like, whether you're not with somebody or you're not getting enough attention or you're just kind of, like, so into it that you don't, like, know that it's too much. But there's other ways around like if it is from a place of loneliness, like there are other ways to like dealing with loneliness, right?
Yeah.
But like I don't know what's like for you, like what's like loneliness to you? Like how does that like like I know it's a deep question, but like what are elements of like you feeling lonely? What makes you feel lonely?
First off, I just want to say that this has Sprite. There's no alcohol in this. We are sober. Sober men's.
For now.
Alcohol is very bad for you. And
until we're sponsored. You know, if we're sponsored, alcohol is great. Alcohol makes the world go round.
Jack Daniels, Crown Royale, if you're watching, you already know.
You
hit us up.
Please.
Please, we're doing this for free right now.
Our own spare time.
But yeah, man, dude, the thing about loneliness is, okay, so my life is like a very busy kind of life, right? You see, like, you can see the bags under my eyes. Like, I was telling Daniel, like, this is the first week I'm playing volleyball 7 days a week, and the seventh day, this Saturday, is an all-day tournament too. So like Sunday, I don't even think I'm gonna be able to walk. Mm-hmm. But so the thing is that I stay so busy throughout the day because I work my 9 to 5, volleyball, talking to friends, whatever. But then there's a period from like 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. where you're just alone. Everything's quiet. Mm-hmm. That's when I feel the loneliness.
Can I ask a question? Is like, because normally from my understanding with that, it's like, isn't that the one time of day where you actually have some time to yourself in a sense?
There is time to myself, but then you see, if we're really going deep, first episode and we're going deep right now. All right. I think subconscious. Everyone's always like, Nihaal, you have so many friends. You talk to this. You talk to so many people. You keep yourself busy. Mm-hmm. But why am I doing that?
Oh,
why am I doing that?
So you're not.
Alone? So I'm not alone.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean.
I fear being alone so much that I try keeping myself occupied all the time with people, and it doesn't necessarily have to be. I mean, I have a couple, like, you know, a handful of people that are my really close friends. It doesn't necessarily have to be them, but just anyone that's willing to talk to me, I kind of talk to them. And then those hours from like 11 p.m. to like 2 a.m., that's when everyone's kind of like in their own thing. They're not really talking to me, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's when I feel it. How about you?
When I feel like, I don't know, because I think as of right now, I've hit a groove of knowing when I can appreciate being alone. But in terms of loneliness, like, I feel the most alone when I can't have somebody to like let out my worst feelings or my best feelings.
That's good.
Like, I've had a recent like event where it's just like family troubles where it's just been like until talking to you and maybe like one other person about it, I didn't really like that. I felt so alone and like not being able to voice how I felt about that, like not having somebody to turn to about that. It's like, it's just that frustration's kind of boiling down, or like the whatever negative emotions you have, it's just, there's no release for it and there's nobody to kind of empathize with you. That's where I feel something most of the time alone, or when I feel super happy, I want somebody to celebrate with that. That's, you know, like that's why like when I was on a trip with people, like I felt so happy because we could just like take in all these views together and all, like we'd hang out, we could like, we were chilling on a vacation together. I won't lie, even when I was enjoying myself on my trip in San Francisco, I felt pretty alone there sometimes. I didn't have friends to enjoy the views. I didn't have friends to go eat with sometimes. Till I made some friends where I was staying. But other than that, there'd be times where if I'm going on a hike, I'm like, damn, it would be cool to have like Nihaal here or some other friends like around. So that's where I feel like I kind of feel the most alone. Or like I feel really lonely. Other than that, like everybody's gonna have those times where if you're single, as we both are, I don't know if that's a happy thing, but
Ladies, hit us up. No,
Please, no, I'm joking.
I'm joking. I think we're both in a single phase.
Yeah, but like in a sense, it's like I think if you like, in also in a single, everybody's gonna feel like, or for the most part, they're gonna feel like they would want somebody like in a relationship wise, or like somebody like affection wise. I think I don't know. I think that's like something that comes and goes with everybody, myself included. But that's not really a big part of my loneliness. So I think that's.
You know, Daniel, you actually make great points. As in, when you first went the direction of when you were alone with the family events, I thought you were just talking about the sad parts, but bringing up the happy parts is also very important too. Yeah. Because I feel like toxic relationships come when the girl or the guy just kind of just says all the bad things, whatever, and doesn't really. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to relationships, it is just as important to celebrate the highs as you were kind of
because you can feel alone in those moments, right?
Yeah. Because you could be the happiest in the world, and then after that, like if you get a new job or if you just got a huge paycheck or whatever, you kind of want to just tell somebody, exactly, show the happiness, right? And if that somebody's not there, that's when you feel alone.
Right. Like a significant other, if you want to talk to them about how you had a great day at work and they just want to go to bed because they're tired, it's like, well, shit, like the fuck, like like you have nobody to really let out that happy emotion to with or share them, right? So that's one thing with it. When in dealing with that loneliness for you, like late at night or whenever else you feel lonely, how do you deal with it? Like, how do you kind of get past, like, in those 3 hours, 2-3 hours, let's say, how do you kind of deal with it? Or in any other loneliness case as well.
I FaceTime you.
That's true. That is true. I always check my phone, so even if I miss it, because I'm on Do Not Disturb after like midnight. But yeah, I'll FaceTime you
back. If I have a couple of friends I know that stay up late or are on the West Coast, so then it's like a 3-hour difference.
Yeah.
So like if I call them at 1 p.m., it's like 10 p.m. there. That's how I usually do it, but at the same time, that's also not healthy because that goes back down to the deep-rooted thing in me where it's just like I fear being alone, right? So during the pandemic, I did work. Oh my god! Hopefully our video doesn't get banned because I used the word pandemic, but what's it called? I was alone for most of it, and that was a very tough part because everything that I ever liked really got canceled, like parties, volleyball, just going to another person's house. So then you were alone for a lot of it, and I was single at the time too. So it was tough. It was very tough, but that's something that I still work on. But I've improved a lot. I'm so much better than I once was. But,
I agree.
But yeah. How are you?
My lonely moments. How do I deal with it? Honestly, I don't know if it's healthy or not, but I kind of steer into the skid of it sometimes, if you get what I mean. Like, if I'm alone and I'm starting to feel lonely, I try to submerge myself a bit more into loneliness, but in a different way. So, if let's say I'm feeling lonely because I've had, like, a lot of, like, what's it called? Times where I was just, like, stressed out. Like, for example, this summer, I had a little event where I felt a little alone, where, I opened up to people about it. About things that happened, but it still doesn't really take away for some things. You can tell so much, but sometimes even if you open up, you're not going to feel super like somebody's there anyways. Not to discredit people who listen to you, but how I did it was, if I was like, let's say I felt alone and that was kind of bothering me at work, kind of steering to the skid, stay alone. I'll go down to the lake, take a nap, or like journal at the lake, or find a place that's really quiet or peaceful and be by myself to think about it. I think of my thoughts about it. And it's therapeutic a little bit. It's lonely, like that loneliness, that feeling of loneliness, or that feeling of, that bad feeling where you can't get it out. It's kind of gone with the wind or gone with the waves kind of thing, which is kind of nice. Other than that, it's like, if it's something where I feel alone in terms of, for example, a relationship ending where you feel alone in that sense, I just hang out with my friends as much as possible. That's something where it's like your friends are there for you. Your friends are always going to stand beside you, whether they're busy or not. If they're busy, like if they're not busy, they'll always and they know something's up, they'll make time for you. And those are things I'm really thankful for when I feel alone. That's how I really deal with it. Because I know some people can turn to their families. I feel like, and not to disrespect my mom, but my mom and I aren't on that like emotional level of like talking about our feelings like that, like feeling alone and stuff. We can talk about things that are somewhat emotional, but not to that extent. I don't think we're that close. But like I like not to describe how much I love my mom, but you know, I don't feel like that's an avenue I turn to in those cases.
You put up a lot of points.
Yeah, a lot of points.
Well, I am not a registered therapist, but
it's I mean, we're just like trying to like see how like every day is kind of just a work in progress for us, right? Whether it's dealing with aloneness or any emotional problems that we have, but whatever works, right? Whether it's the best help that you can get or if it's just something that's a temporary thing or something that can just ease how you feel, that helps, right? As long as it's not hurting you in another way.
Yeah. No, exactly. Okay, sorry. These flies are.
Yo, I've been noticing them, but they're all going to you, so I'm not really complaining.
No, but like it's going right in front of the camera, so
yeah.
I apologize, guys. This is our first video, so we're still learning.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, write it in there in our notes. Kill all the flies before.
Kill flies. Got it. I'll add that to the spreadsheet.
It's so weird. It's getting cold outside, so I guess the flies really like come in. We're in the basement of our house, and yeah, it's just there. But yeah, dude. My question is, okay, so you brought up a nice point about how when you're lonely, you kind of go to the lake.
Yeah.
We live in Toronto, by the way, so.
Yeah, Lake Ontario, represent.
Ontario, yeah, I mean, represent us and don't swim in Lake
Don't
Ontario.
swim in the lake. You're going to come out with like a third penis or something, I swear. Like, that thing's so disgusting.
But it's nice. I gotta say, like, Toronto's Harbour Front is a really, really nice.
It's a nice vibe.
Nice vibe, pedestrian friendly, transit friendly, amazing.
In the summer, though.
In the summer.
Like if you're going like fall, winter, it's freezing there.
Yeah.
So.
But how? Okay, you said you're okay being alone, right? Which I'm jealous of. I don't think I could do that. No, I don't think. Okay, there's loneliness, and then also okay being alone because like, since you like ride transit a lot and everything, there's a lot of periods where you're spending the day alone, right?
Yep.
So in those periods, do you have music in your?
Sometimes.
So you could go by just like being quiet, like no.
Yeah, like sometimes if I'm just like it's the noise of either like if I'm at the lake, it's the noise of the waves or just hearing like white noise of people talking or the wind. Sometimes that's just really therapeutic. Other times it's music or a podcast I'll listen to because
podcast, yeah.
Sometimes that's
podcasts are really good for you lonely people, including me, obviously. But yeah, even when I walk around the house, Spotify is. I'm telling you, I probably have like thousands of hours of just listening to Spotify because even walking around the house, I need music, right? Even for this podcast, I was thinking of putting music in the background, but we don't want to get copyrighted because we want the money.
I mean, we could find non-DMCA stuff in the future, so that's probably
future,
easy.
Yeah. And yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know how these podcasters keep talking without any cutscenes, but and our sponsors,
they're pros, you know.
Our sponsors for today's video is no, I'm joking. We don't got sponsors.
I wish.
Not yet.
Crown Royal.
Dude, we're looking.
You know what? Screw it, yo. Like, yo, Elon, hit us up with a Tesla sponsor. Come on, your boy needs a car,
dude. Please. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, we're just gonna take a quick break.
Yes, Sprite break.
Sprite break.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored. And we're back. We really needed to kill that fly.
Oh, we got one of them. Well, I got one of them to be exact.
Yeah,
but
he just took a paper plate.
Boom, bro.
That's it.
Fuck that fly. Now the other fly is just gonna be hella lonely.
Damn. You know, I was actually looking at those flies, and we were talking about loneliness and relationships and stuff. And this fly couple is just like buzzing it, you know, like literally rubbing it in. It's just like, look at these guys. You know, he was like literally rubbing it into us. He's just like, look at these guys, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, but now the other fly's a single mom or dad, or you know, so. I mean,
oh my god,
single parenthood for a fly. It's not like they're gonna live that long, anyways.
Facts. Yeah. So we're just gonna leave. We're just gonna pick up where we left off.
But yeah.
Hopefully, this podcast is not making you sad.
I hope not.
Actually, I mean, it's more so just like
we're not down bad. I swear. We're not down bad. I swear.
We're definitely not down bad. It's more so just just a bro talk. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of bros don't are anti-therapy. I can't say that I am because I had been in therapy before. Highly recommended, by the way. But you know, if you're anti-therapy, maybe this is a medium ground where it's not really therapy and it's not really talking to your bros. It's just right in the middle.
Yeah. Just kind of letting it all out. Just putting it all out there.
So I loved her, man.
Oh my God.
I loved her. No.
How could she leave me?
Been there, done that. But yeah, talk to me.
I was gonna ask, like, into relationship wise, like, what types of loneliness do you feel after a relationship? Like, because there's different types. Because you could be the one who can break up with somebody, or somebody can be the one who broke up with you. Personally, from my experience, I feel like being broken up with makes you feel more lonely. I think
100%.
I think it's just because it's like...
Is it broken up with, or is it because you loved her more than she loved you?
I think whether it's, like, in any case of that, my opinion is, like, the one who's being broken up with is least likely to expect it. So it's more of a, not always a blind side, but like, not a pure blind side in some cases, but it is a blind side to some extent. Like, you don't really see it coming. Like, because the other person's the one saying it, so they've been the one thinking about it, you know, so they're already maybe not super prepared, but they're still more prepared than you are to feel it. And then, especially because you don't get to leave on your own volition, or like your own regard of it, that's a lonely feeling. That's a tough feeling.
That's a really good way to say it. I don't even think about it like that. Yeah, it's when that person is breaking up, they think about it for like a couple weeks, you know. They're just like, and then they finally, like, it's like the last, like, something could happen where it's just like, all right, I tried, but there's no way, kind of thing. And that guy is always, but I feel like, okay, what's longer? Okay, the guy thinking, or the guy or girl that's thinking to break up, like that whole time period, or the recovery after the breakup for the other person. What do you think is longer?
It's subjective, really. I think, depending on how long the relationship is, like, let's say they've only been on for a couple months, the person who's breaking up, who's doing the breakup, who's initiating it, probably has been thinking about it longer, because if it's a short-term relationship, they've been probably questioning it from the start.
Yeah.
If it's a longer relationship, then, like, or just like, I don't know, I'm not gonna put a period of time, but if it is a longer relationship, the person who is getting broken up with is definitely gonna feel it more, because there's already been that time where you guys have established something. They're definitely gonna feel that for longer after the fact. Before, because the other person's already kind of dealt with it before. Yeah. Somewhat.
So how does the loneliness affect you, kind of like day to day after?
Like after a breakup?
After a breakup. I think the first couple of days is absolutely like...
I'll be honest, but for me, the last time, it was the first couple of weeks, man. Last time I got broken up with, it was like, ooh, that was like, it took a while for me to recover from that one. It was a really messy breakup too. But it's like, for me, it was more like, damn, like the way it happened too is really tough too, because...
Damn, her friends are gonna find this.
I don't give a shit. Like if her friends find this, fuck that noise. But like, it's when she, what's it called? Because you could really, honestly, you could say I got cheated on in a way. So, and then it just ended off that way. It was just a really, really dirty breakup. Really not clean.
I think we had this conversation before. Being cheated on is the most psychologically fucked up thing that could happen in a relationship. Yes. Other than, you know, killing, like, your, like, a loved one or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like getting cheated on? No. Like your girlfriend murdering your mom. Like what?
The most legal thing that can happen in a relationship that fucks you up.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
because it's just your self-worth, right? It's just
was it not worth it? Just there's no self-respect. There's no respect for something.
There's no respect, exactly.
And like that's like a really.
But you know what it is?
Yeah.
your mind says, yo, I'm not worth it. It's because of this. It's because I'm ugly, whatever, etc. Right? At the same time, our mind goes that, but what it is really is the person that cheated.
It shows more about them than it ever says about you.
That's exactly.
Even if you were a shitty person to them, it's like it really does just show the fact that it's like that they just didn't really care. If they really wanted out, then it's just you. Like if it was really that bad of a relationship for the person, for the person to cheat, it's just easier to break up. Like,
it's easier to break up, but then you see this goes back to loneliness, right?
Yeah.
People. Okay, I'm not speaking for myself, by the way. I'm just saying some people would rather cheat than break up because they're not alone. They have two options rather than
that
none.
Is true.
Rather than none.
But I think people who cheat also don't think about the long-term consequences. Exactly. Because they don't think they're going to get caught. But, like, it's just... It makes it so much more complicated for you if you, like... Because you're most likely going to get caught. So it's like, you're just making it harder on yourself, right? And... whether it's on TV or, like, from people who've told me about stuff like that, it's like... You're the other person that's the person that you're with, that you're not like the other person, right? If you can make sense of it, not the person that you're cheating on.
Yeah.
The person that you're with doing the cheating with, how are they gonna feel that you're actually in a relationship too? So it's just complicated on every angle, right?
Yeah. I don't have enough experience in that environment, thankfully. Hopefully,
thankfully, yeah. But it's
so
like
I can't really speak upon it. But
if you really think about, like, it's just like you have to think about how every person's gonna feel in that situation, right? So,
too many parties involved.
Yeah, exactly. Like it just overcomplicates things, right? When as much as it's a tough conversation initially, it's better. Like you just cut it where you stop the bleeding, right? You just cut it where it's got to be.
Yep.
But like when it comes to being like kind of just getting us back onto the subject of like post-relationship loneliness, for you, would you say the feeling of being lonely after a relationship is worse than the loneliness you feel just on a regular basis, like that 12 to 3 or 12 to 2? What's worse?
I think my loneliness after a relationship quickly turns into motivation just to make a turn for something in my life.
You're good at that.
Once upon a time, believe it or not, I used to be in the gym very consistently. Now, tummy's coming in. But that's one thing. You could either go to a gym or just make new friends or just get away from that kind of... I think at that point, like in your relationship, kind of like your friends are intertwined with like her friends and whatever, so you just kind of find a completely different friend circle, etc. So like it gives you an excuse to explore or a push to explore. So I think
try something new.
Yeah, I think my loneliness quickly turns into motivation for just to kind of move on, which is something that I worked on. Was it always like that? Definitely not, but I think that's how it is. Yeah. I was gonna say it is almost. You have you been to Dollarama recently?
Dollarama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dollarama, recently. Walmart, whatever.
Yeah.
You notice how like all the Halloween stuff are getting cleared out, and what's gonna happen November 1st?
Remembrance Day. Oh, are you
Christmas?
Oh shit!
Christmas.
I dead ass forgot. Like not forgot, but like it's just so far out for me that I don't consider it till like December.
So since we're from Toronto, we don't have Thanksgiving in November. We have Thanksgiving earlier in the year. So after Halloween, they start putting the Christmas stuff up. I might even put my Christmas tree up on November 1st, which people say are too early, but screw it. So Dollarama, Walmart, all those big brand stores have already started putting the Christmas decorations up, and Christmas is also cuffing season, and we're definitely gonna. Oh my god, we could talk forever because the impact of social media when it comes to Christmas time. I specifically deactivate
it can really make you feel alone.
I think I've been single for during Christmas for a while. for a while, dude. I don't want to say the number of years because it's kind of embarrassing, but yeah, I have been single for Christmas for a while, and every time around Christmas time, I kind of deactivate socials because for one specific thing, it's just there's way too many relationship-y stuff. Not necessarily in Christmas itself, but days leading into Christmas.
And no disrespect to them, you post what you want to post, dude, but I just 100%. Don't want to like I get where you're coming from because like honestly, when you see too much of it, you don't want to see it all the time.
Exactly, yeah.
Especially when you're not in that position. But social, like it's not really the people making you feel that way. It's definitely the social media aspect of it. It's like the volume of it, right? It's
social media is a highlight reel.
Facts. Big facts.
I know a lot of couples that I get into fights often, and then all of a sudden I see just a picture of them smiling and
yeah, like nothing's a fucking problem, right? Yeah. Like for all we know, like a minute or two before the picture, they were like
fighting.
Yeah.
Have I done that before too? Yes, I have.
Yo, like I'm pretty sure we all have. Like, there's been like a lot of times where it's just been like that.
But yeah, how do you deal with it when you know that the season is coming and when everyone's warm in snuggling, watching Christmas movies, we're just snuggling together as homies in the sofa right here.
You round up all your single homies, guys and girls, and you all just have a good time. For me, that's the thing. Like, for example, you can't come this year, but our annual winter cottage around, like we don't do it on Christmas, but we do it in December. That's when we ground up everybody, and whether they're in relationships or not, it's a really good time for all of us to get together because one, you're not like those people in the relationships are hanging out with y'all, so they're not gonna just post about them on their own time, they're gonna post everybody being together, and because we're all good friends, it's like nobody ever really makes you feel isolated or single or anything like that. Anyways, well, that might be subjective to our friend group, but that's how I kind of get around with it. But
that can actually be a very good topic idea in the future. Can girls and guys be friends?
I'll put it on the spreadsheet. I'm putting that on the spreadsheet. But I think like at this time of year, there's a lot of ways to go around it. But for me, it's definitely for like hanging out with friends, whether they're in a relationship or not. Like I think surrounding yourself with friends is always just a cool way to do it because one, you don't feel alone when you're with your closest people. You're never going to feel alone.
This is exactly where it goes way back to. If you guys are still listening to this podcast, shout out. You guys are the OG followers.
OG.
But it's what I said earlier. I just keep myself occupied all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many contacts. Like I found something that I really like, which is volleyball. And I just have so many contacts. I just keep myself.
Yo, bro, every time I'm just like, I see this guy with new people, I'm like, bro, they're like, the only way they're connected to you is volleyball.
That's
they're not like
that's it.
The tightest of people, you know?
Yeah. And the coolest part about meeting new people like that or finding we could even make another podcast episode about that, about how to meet new people.
That's cool. That'd actually be pretty dope.
I could definitely do that. But the main part of that podcast would probably be to go consistently somewhere. That's the only reason. Why do we have you have a lot of high school friends, elementary school friends, just like me. Some of my closest friends are elementary school, high school friends. It's because we went to the same place consistently every single day for years, right? So just like that, if you go, for me, it was consistently going to a volleyball run, like volleyball run. Run is apparently a Toronto term.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like a run?
Yeah, like a volleyball run. It's a volleyball game.
Like right? A volleyball run, like basketball run.
Yeah.
That's a Toronto thing? That's crazy.
So, a volleyball game. Every Thursday there's a volleyball game, like a drop-in volleyball game, and then I kept going, and then I eventually made friends there because there were other people that consistently go there. And people don't, I think over here, a lot of people don't necessarily come to make friends, but somehow you become friends.
Well, you're a team, right? You guys got to work together, so you got to be friendly.
Exactly, yeah. So and you never know, yeah. And just give your all, just give positive attitude to whoever, and you never know. At this point, I mean, Daniel knows, like, I hosted a couple tournaments this year, and so my birthday was just last week, and all the people, all my different friend groups kind of got merged together because, like, everybody saw each other at the tournaments, played with each other at the tournaments, and it's just like there's no like cliques or anything. Everyone just kind of get merged together, and now people know each other, so you can be a friend of a friend, etc., etc.
Yeah. Like you see a familiar face. An example of this is we don't like today. One of my friends isn't coming to our volleyball run, but I've been around your runs long enough to know like other people, like your friends of yours and stuff like that. That I'm not gonna feel like awkward about it.
He could still come. That's another thing too that we could talk about that podcast. The fear of putting yourself out there.
Yes, that's another thing. That's going on the spreadsheet too. We gotta come up with guests. We gotta figure out some guests for some of these too.
Oh, dude, guests, bro. We get so many.
That's true.
Trust me. But 5 p.m. on a Monday might be a little tough.
That would be tough. But I feel like
maybe a weekend or something.
Yeah, we don't always have to necessarily record on the Monday.
Yeah.
I love how we're working out logistics on the podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, but
it's the first podcast. This is like raw.
We air it out, you know.
Yeah. Have you seen that YouTube video of Mr. Beast watching his old video when he first started?
I haven't.
But Mr. Beast like pretty much like the biggest YouTuber of all time right now.
Yeah.
Watch a video of when he first started, and he's just like, damn, like no one believed me, and then you never know.
Yeah.
So you never know where it goes. Just like that, the term I was saying, I started 2017, just 19 years old, just like this impulse decision. Mm-hmm. I was sitting on my couch and like, I want to throw this pyramid. Let me make some phone calls, and then I did it. Just like that today. I was working, and then this guy. Did I FaceTime you or
you FaceTimed me?
Okay.
You FaceTime me, and I think most of the times when you FaceTime me, unless it's like at night, you always start off with, "What's the plan?" And I'm like, oh, I guess I'll just come over and we'll chill before volleyball. And then we just somehow got onto talking about this because I think you mentioned the video that we did in the car. That sounds so sus, but no.
Pause.
But that's when we did it was almost basically a podcast when we did the discussion. It was like we talked about that, and I'm like, yo, this would be a cool thing to just do, whether it's in the front seat of your car or it's like even here or wherever, like just talking. But yeah, like glad we tried it out like today, and we were like actually committing to it. So
the other thing is that people don't have attention spans, bro.
That's so true. So it's TikTok and like Instagram and stuff like that.
So I mean, the only way to do it really, or if we actually want to make our podcast viral, this is what I've seen from other successful podcasts. At this point, you guys are just looking at our logistics. I don't care.
Yeah.
Is get snippets from our podcast, put it on TikTok,
like highlights, right?
Yeah. And then after that, link our TikTok channel to our YouTube channel, and then
or Instagram if we wanted to do that.
Then that's it. But it's mostly just for fun, man. Honestly, if we make money out of this, we make money out of this.
But it's really like, I think the best way to kind of just keep it like, what's it called, sustainable or continuous is we have to just keep in mind that is the best part of this is the discussion. Nothing else. Like that's the best part. Like we can think about TikTok or putting like how to gain the followers from this, but like the content's more discussions.
It's pure. It's not it's not fake.
Yeah.
It's from the heart.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say something stupid like, oh, dude, just asked the girl out yesterday. She said, yeah, no.
Yeah, like we're not going to do something that just makes us seem like a highlight reel all the time, you know? So I think the best discussions come from just like pure, not uncontrolled, but pure like opinion, pure how we feel. That's how it's like best done. And that's why people listen to podcasts, to hear people's opinions, to hear.
And also to feel less lonely. So
that too.
You lonely people out there.
Yeah.
Got you.
We're looking out for you because we're lonely and we're all lonely in our own rights.
Hell yeah. All right. We'll wrap it up because I think we'll keep our podcast to like an hour. Is that okay?
An hour? Yeah, sounds about good.
I think hour's good because over an hour, maybe an hour 15.
An hour 15, but I feel like hour 15 if we have a guest.
If we have a heated topic. Bro.
Yeah.
I have so many topics. If you guys know any topics that you want us to talk about, even well, you know what? We'll go borderline ban-worthy topics. You know what I'm saying? Like, should abortion be pro-abortion? No. Do you want it?
We'll see.
I don't know.
We'll see.
By the way, we haven't said any comments about that. I just said that can be a topic.
It's just like me. We're straight up just like we'll think about what we want to talk about.
Don't crop the pro-abortion part and be like, yo.
Yeah, don't like crop it and just make this guy. Don't cancel this guy. You know? Like.
But yeah, we out here, man. We out here. And what else do you want to do?
I mean,
Joe Santagato, if you're watching this, you're my favorite podcaster. You guys should check out his podcast too. And he always ends up with.
Hey guys, thanks so much for listening to our podcast. I'm just kind of wrapping it up and editing it, filming this little end segment for you, but let us know how we did. Let us know what you feel about what we talked about. If it relates to you, if what we talked about is relevant, if we say too many stupid things. But we'd love to improve. We'd love to get some good content out there because this is something we really enjoy, just talking to each other and kind of projecting it out there, having people listen to it. Because we think it's interesting. We think people would like to listen to it. We'd want to just kind of clean it up a bit, you know what I mean? But yeah, please, if you can, if you like our content, subscribe, give it a like, a thumbs up. And we're looking at getting into other areas with it, like Spotify, maybe SoundCloud, wherever we can put up podcasts. But for now, we'll stick to YouTube. But once again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon with another upload.